But what about the churches?
No.
I want to jump right into this, and I want to talk to you about something that greatly disturbs me as far as trying to have a civil argument with someone.
Right.
Got into it with a guy today about, we're going to beat a dead horse when I bring this up.
Okay.
Because we've talked about it before.
I love beating horses. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Beating them or beating them off?
Don't throw red paint on me while I walk by, PETA. Okay.
All right. So I think, so I got into it with this guy on Facebook. God, I hate that fucking website too. And this person made a post about transgender people.
Gotcha.
And I guess pronouns or whatever. I can't even remember what the post was. I was just incredibly aggravated at the idea that people continue to make these posts. And anytime I comment, it is literally, cool, dude, leave the kids out of it.
Yeah. Do what you do.
And it seems like in almost every instance that I say this, these people turn around and go, well, what about the churches? And my response to that is, well, what about the churches? And they're immediately like, well, they abuse more kids than anybody in the world. And they've been doing this since the dawn of time. And I'm like, all right, cool. I understand where you're coming from.
It's horrible correlation, though.
It really is. It really is
That is a poor analogy.
I'm not talking about one. I'm talking about the other.
Yeah.
But so that we're all clear and everyone knows where I stand. If you harm a child in any way, be it exploitation, be it indoctrination, grooming, whatever it is.
Yeah.
If you harm a child in any way, including taking their childhood away and making it about their sexuality, they're children. For fuck's sakes, they are children. They don't have a fucking sexuality.
It's funny, though. How
only until, like, literally only until I was probably 10, 11, 12, did I realize my penis was meant for something else.
Yeah.
Other than just peeing out of. Like,
right.
I didn't have that. And I got to be a kid because of it.
Yeah.
Now everybody everywhere is just like, oh,
yep.
Hi, little 8-year-old. What's your sexuality? What the fuck?
What are your pronouns?
What the fuck?
That's insanity, dude. I
think it's sick. I think it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Stop fucking with children.
Yeah.
Leave the kids out of it. And that's all I've ever said. Leave the kids out of it.
What a horrible argument to bring up churches and say, but the churches do it. Oh, so do countless criminals in prison for 15 years for raping and abusing.
Do they
young
get that
children,
much time, though? I feel like they get less time than a drug dealer.
True story.
Like, drug dealers go to prison because they go to prison for longer than fucking pedophiles and predators.
Yeah.
It's unreal to me.
I agree with you.
It's unreal to me.
I have that conversation a lot with my wife, and it's upsetting and troubling because that seems to be what it is.
So back to my point is, if you harm a child in any one of those ways or in any way, you get to go to the same place, and it's not prison.
Yeah, and to bring that up as if, well, the churches do it. It's not like the churches are allowed to do it. That's not what they're there for. It's not like you're saying, well, we should be allowed to do it because the churches are allowed to do it. No, the churches are not allowed to sexualize or molest or whatever the case is. That's not what they do.
Yeah, they're not allowed to. They're not supposed to be doing, but it does happen.
Right. So people get raped in prison because shit happens.
They're not allowed to do it.
Yeah.
But they damn sure fucking do it.
Yeah, it happens. And it's disgusting and it shouldn't be happening, but it does happen. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we should allow you to do, well, you know, that stuff happens with kids everywhere, so we should be allowed to do what? No one should be allowed.
Ever.
No one is allowed.
Yeah.
So to even try to correlate that with your argument, it's insanity to me.
But that's their answer every time. That is their answer every time. But what about the churches? Okay. And this was my point to them. I didn't bring up the churches. I physically, I brought up
that's good.
what you were talking about.
Yeah.
I wasn't talking about the churches.
Right. They just threw that in there.
It's a deflection. And that's really what it is. It's a deflection. It's, hey, don't pay attention to what we're doing. Look at what they're doing. That's just as bad.
Now, I got a hot take for you.
It's still not an argument, though.
Churches, don't go to church then. Don't go to church.
Yeah.
Also, don't go to school. Go to homeschool.
Yeah. I homeschool my kid.
Don't let your kid go to the Boys and Girls Club. Don't let your kid do any of these weird things anymore. You do that shit with them. Don't let them go to public school, man. That's rough. And I hate to say that because I think the social skills of kids these days are lacking heavily, right? Badly. Poorly. It's sad where these kids are these days compared to we were. It's like you sent me that post last week I saw with the kids riding homemade bicycle ramps. Dude, I was legit time traveled back to the 90s. And I'm like, oh my God. And kids, they really don't do that anymore. They really don't, man.
I can't tell you how many times I probably should have died.
Yeah, me too.
On those ramps. It was some sketchy shit, bro.
I thought I was going to die down a hill in Wisconsin back in early 90s, and a ramp just collapsed as soon as I hit it. Straight downhill. I hit it. It snapped in half. I rolled down the hill.
Rotten plywood, sketchy fucking concrete blocks, dude.
This is all shit you found behind a shed, too. This wasn't like brand new plywood.
And then you run the risk of getting your ass beat by your dad because you're using his shit.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. But my point goes back to, I hate to say don't let kids go to public school because social skills develop. The way that people communicate with each other face to face now, children mostly, it's hard to say you shouldn't go to public school, but honestly, it's not going to help them. I think the downside outweighs the upside going to public school because if your kid's coming home and they're like, okay, cool, I got to hang out with a couple of my buddies, but for the most part, we learned that we might potentially be transgender. And I'm like, okay, how old are you? 7? No, probably not.
Probably
and
not.
Why is your?
And if you are, you'll find that out at a later date.
Yeah. You sent me that post about this dude. Cheers. About this dude who I think he posted a TikTok about the CDC encouraging sexual like ideologies for students, and at first I'm like, oh man, this is BS, right?
It's getting out of hand.
But you know what? I want to do some research. I'm gonna look into it. Not only do they encourage it. On the CDC's website, they actually provide materials, reading materials. They provide PDFs that you can download. Kindergarten through 12th grade, sexual orientations and ideologies, LGBTQ affirmations. So much insanity. And I say insanity because the CDC stands for the Center for Disease Control. Am I correct on that?
Yes.
So what in the hell business do they have that it just sounds like such a far cry from their...
It's kind of like our conversation the last time about the ATF.
Yeah.
What government agency has the right to tell me or provide things to me that probably shouldn't be?
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's be real. My
CDC
7-year-old
should be focusing more on what happened to us in 2019 and 2020 than sexual orientation and ideology for kindergartners. Because when I saw K through 12, and I'm like, dude, listen.
Is that not insane?
If you're 25, if you're 18, if you're 18 and you want to, you believe you're trans or you are gay or lesbian, whatever, man, you know what I mean? That's kind of not the point here. Is like you said, as long as you leave kids out of it and, live your life. That's cool by us. I think we're both very libertarian in that aspect. Yeah. But when you're talking kindergarten, I don't even have kids. That shit makes me upset, man.
My boil. My blood boils. The fuck? I just derailed that whole thing, didn't I?
Whiskey.
Listen, it's the first sip of whiskey, dude.
You're good.
It'll get you. No, you're right. Kindergartners, first graders, second graders, third graders, I'm pretty sure we should probably stop fucking with kids under the age of 18. Let them be kids. Let them learn what they're supposed to learn. If you want to send your kid to public school and you want them to be, want them to come out being really good employees, right, that's the way you go. Yep. If you want your kids to learn and you homeschool your kids, or you put them in a school that teaches them hands-on real world skills, things like that, then that's what you should do.
Yeah.
But when you start putting ideology, into your lessons,
kindergarten,
be it religious, be it cultural, it doesn't matter. When you start doing that, you're taking away from their education and you're interjecting unnecessary subjects.
Yeah.
To where now a parent who may not agree with these things now has to explain to their kids why they're being taught these things in school.
Right.
And that's not fair to the parent. That's not fair to the kid. The reality of it is, leave kids out of it.
Yeah.
And we don't have a problem.
Yeah, exactly. I'm with that, man.
You start putting kids in it.
I just can't believe somebody has the gall to correlate. Well, churches, look,
the churches have done bad shit.
Yeah. People are people. And that's where
the thing that kicks my ass the most about it is they're not specific when they say the churches. They just literally say the churches. Yeah. Okay, cool. Are they Protestant, Baptist, Catholic, Pentecostal? Like, right, who's doing it? Who is doing it? Right. Apparently all of them are doing it, right? Like every fucking single one of them. So the entirety of the church in their eyes are nothing from top to bottom, from the Pope to the guy, the usher that walks you into a Baptist church.
Right.
They're all pedophiles in their eyes.
Right, right.
They're all doing it, right? But when you point out and you show proof to these people that so are the transgenders, so are some of the the LGBT community. I won't say T. I won't say the plus.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't exist. It's all fake shit.
Yeah.
LGB, because that's all that really even matters. Even the B is a little questionable because it's like, you're just kind of sexually active. You don't care where it comes from. Right.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with gays.
I'm all about lesbians. People. Yeah, no, dude.
I don't.
No.
I don't care. But I do think that we should probably discuss going back to the old adage, what you do behind closed doors is none of my fucking business.
Yeah.
What you do in view of public now becomes my business.
Yeah. And that's the thing. A lot of people do need to start but it's like the Instagram, TikTok generation, man. They think that every single thought they have is just this magnificent piece of poetry that has to be shared amongst the world. So
it fucking hasn't already been thought 100 times before that person.
But I think that's where we get these people who are so open, out, and loud, and
you really got me.
Yeah.
First sip, I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, no. Just derail my whole fucking thought process.
I did.
It's okay.
I think I'm on a roll with that today.
Yeah. No, it blows my mind, man. So people say in churches like that, and I'm just gonna put this out there. I'm not a big church person. I never was raised in a church. I'm not like, I
grew up Catholic.
I'm unreligious. I don't know what to call that, really. I just don't really believe in religion. I believe in science and evolution, and if you can prove it to me, I want hard facts. That's my take on religion. Now, thing is,
I've had an existential crisis with that over the last few years.
You will probably never, ever catch me in a church. However, I've also watched drug addicts, people that I grew up with, people that I know, actually church saved their life. I think some people need it. I think something good to believe in, something good to grasp. Some people need that to be a positive change in their life, and I'm all for that. That's why I'm not 100%. Anti-religion.
Yeah.
I just myself don't identify with any religion.
I
don't identify with any political party. I'm kind of in that I don't know, man.
So you're just fence sitting on everything.
Everything. Everything.
One day you're going to have to jump off that fence, Jimmy.
If you can prove it.
No, I don't think you. I don't think you sit on a fence on a lot of things. Like I think you have very hard stances on things.
I have hard stances as far as my interior moral compass is concerned.
Yes.
I feel like, being as old as I am, I've kind of developed my process and my morals, and it's very
what's good, what's bad.
Yeah, what's good, what's bad. It's live and let live. And there's, I've got aspects, man. That's why I think, libertarian, I seem to identify somewhat, but not really, not totally. I'm a little more conservative on things, and I'm a little more liberal on some things. Like, I know this might be a hot one.
Jimmy's known for his hot ones.
How do you feel about socialized healthcare?
So that's a fun one.
Just a quick one. We don't have to segue because that was really poor.
No. I mean, it works. Like you're on the same. You're in the same library. You're just not in the same book. So socialized medicine, socialized healthcare. I think the way most people view it is a really bad fucking idea. Yeah. It's a really bad idea.
But I don't know if most people also understand that a lot of our medicine in America is already socialized with Medicaid, Medicare. Yeah. I mean, with us sending a couple $1 trillion to pick a country, can we not? I'd rather my taxes go to medicine like Medicaid and Medicare for everyone than going to trying to establish democracies in third world countries, spending 20 years over there just to let them have, I don't know, $50 trillion worth of tanks and helicopters and weapons. And
I think you're going off on a tangent here, but I'm going to pull you back. I'm going to pull you back in.
My point is if we can spend that money, like our
why can't we have it? Why can't we just put that towards medicine here?
Yeah.
Okay. And I understand where you're coming from with it. The problem with it is the value of the care that you get degrades the more the government is involved in it.
When was the last time you was at a doctor?
Just before the first of the year.
Dude, I have horrible experiences with doctors and hospitals.
I'm not saying it's the best care.
No,
okay?
It's like actually
we pay for insurance as a country. We pay for insurance so that we get a better level of healthcare than, say, Canada. Right?
Insurance just denied me a medication that my doctor wanted to put me on. Insurance that I pay for said, we don't think so. We're not going to cover it.
But those are fightable. Those things are fightable.
For sure. It's just some of the process, man. And I think, like I say, nuance. I'm all about nuance. I don't take
believe
a hard
that the process
stance.
should be easier.
Yeah. And
I don't think it should be so much red tape that when you go into a hospital and you're diagnosed with cancer, that it's now millions of dollars for you to get care, to get proper care.
Right.
And possibly even beat the cancer, right?
Right.
I don't think it should be. At the same time, it needs to be. There's some people that think in this vein, and I kind of agree with it. It needs to be somewhere in the middle of general care. Yeah, should be no cost.
Right.
General care. You break your arm, you go to the ER, they fix it. Big deal. Right.
Also,
move on.
I don't believe that insurance companies should be able to dictate. If you go to a doctor and they approve that doctor because your insurance,
there was a comedian that once said that insurance is in case shit happens, right?
Okay,
well, but insurance doesn't work that way, right?
No,
insurance works that
neither does life.
Your insurance pays for your doctor's visits, which it shouldn't. You shouldn't be paying for those things. That is where I think socialized medicine needs to step in. Okay.
Right.
Outside of that, if you have a debilitating illness, that is what privatized healthcare is for.
Yeah.
If you get cancer or a brain tumor or I don't know, some terminal fucking disease, right?
Yeah.
That is where insurance and that side of healthcare should absolutely step in. And it should be a hell of a lot easier to deal with.
So me and you,
and cancer patients.
And I don't know. I have insurance, right? Mm-hmm. I have insurance because I have health stuff that I deal with. It's up and down, you know.
I do too. I'm 42 years old, man.
Yeah. I'm
Like-
back and forth. I'm at a doctor, you know, I'm doing blood work a couple times a year, and I take a medicine that I'll take forever. My point is it's a lot more difficult for me to get the treatment and medications that I might need. Meanwhile, I just sit here and think, man, I pay a lot of taxes that go to socialized healthcare.
Is it for your incredibly tiny balls?
Yeah, that's one of them.
Okay.
The other one, I had to get a supplemental package for my incredibly tiny penis as well. See,
I attacked your balls, bro.
It was part A only covered the balls. I had to get part B for the penis.
Oh, so you had to supplement. I get it.
That's why I want socialized healthcare. But
So-
no,
Are they going to make it bigger?
hopefully they don't want to
I'm
pay
sure
for it.
somebody hopes.
That's why I'm going on this rant. They don't want to pay for it. They're like, we're not covering that. I'm like, I identify as a man with a really large penis. They don't want to hear it. Apparently, it don't go that way. But
Well, can't really.
no, but I
identify.
can't help but to think that there's people who, you know, in this country, man, perfectly able, but yet they're getting all the care they need. We pay for it. Why not expand that? You know,
But don't you think that's the problem, though?
It could be, but is that
when you made
problem?
that statement?
So
You have people who are perfectly able
yeah,
who don't,
I know.
and then our tax dollars have to supplement that
That's right.
via the way of Medicare, Medicaid. Don't you think that's the problem? Don't you think that's why we don't go as far as?
But I've been alive for a while, and I don't see a fix to that problem. It's only ever expanding, man.
The more government programs you have, the less people are willing to do for themselves.
I totally agree with that.
So in the grand scheme of things,
Very
too,
libertarian way to think there, Rob.
well, yeah, I mean, I don't know what you want from me with that, but yeah, like
I'm with
the
you.
idea is
I'm-
the less government programs we have,
Yeah.
the more people become able to do those things.
Yeah.
Because
100%.
the capital market, the capitalistic market, whatever you want to call it,
Yep.
they're the ones that start going, oh, well, everybody needs this. How do we beat company A?
Yeah.
Oh, we just lower our price.
Right.
Well, then company A goes, well, we need to lower our price. So then it becomes incredibly affordable.
But that's
why-
not what's happening.
But that's not what's happening. So what ends up happening is we get more and more and more government programs driving the price of privatized commodities up and enabling people who don't need it to be on it for the entirety of their lives.
Right. Yeah.
We need to end things like that.
Yeah.
And I think it was,
It's always nuance, man. See, I like this.
who was the president?
Nixon.
Nope, it wasn't
Obama.
Nixon. It was Eisenhower or Ford. I can't
Okay.
remember who, but one of them was like, maybe it was Johnson. But one of them was like, the more government programs we have, the more people are going to rely on us.
Oh, yeah. And the worse everything's going to be. Like, government programs don't help all the time. But like I said, nuance, man, because as much as I am a capitalist, I also believe that, you know, and I'm like a less government free market capitalist thing. But at the same time, I also do believe that in this day and age, capitalism seems to always take the money road over your health and safety. So capitalism
Doesn't the government do the same in the way of taxes?
But I mean, like government regulations, you know, you get rid of government regulations that make businesses adhere by guidelines. They will always say, well, you know, your health and safety is second to our dollar.
Yeah.
So if those government regulations don't exist, screw you.
So in essence, this entire conversation has been about don't delete your fucking Facebook post and be a coward. Also, shout out to my CG brothers and sisters.
Yep.
That's the end of this one. We'll talk to you guys next time.
All right.